If you're going to use our words verbatim for what we stand for and what this stands for, I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm sorry. I don't want to say anything else. You have our words. You know how we feel. You're welcome to join us over here and restore our country to a place that.
Thanks for
to our founding
me as
beliefs.
a journalist. People, what is the message you want to communicate to people?
You know, that's a heck of a question. I think the big thing would be listen to us.
No,
Why not?
because I don't trust who you are.
That's the second person that from this march. It never happens to me normally. Why don't you want to
Well,
be
because
interviewed?
we've been told that there's going to be people in here who are going to try to start trouble.
By asking questions?
Yeah,
Talking causes trouble?
depends on your questions that you ask and what you're trying to inflame.
I was just going to ask you what your motivation was for being here today.
My motivation for being here today is to stand up for America, stand up for God, and stand up for my country.
And what does the restoring honor mean?
What does restoring honor? Being truthful, being moral, following the laws of the Constitution, and God.
Could I have your name, ma'am?
Barbara.
Barbara. Okay, thank you. Have a nice march. And you're one of the people wearing the T-shirt. What is the T-shirt about?
It's to represent, like I said, the founding fathers of America and their ideas, mainly focusing right now on faith, hope, and charity. And that's a lot of what I believe. I'm a Christian and really believe our country needs to get back to faith, follow more of what Jesus Christ, his ideas and his teachings were, and hope for the future. I think if we get back to those things, we can have more hope, and charity is really to have charity for others as we decide, maybe not so much of the government deciding, but we can all decide what to do with our funds.
Only Jesus Christ can give you true liberty. Only true liberty can be found in Christ. And He is the only one that's ever died for us, Jesus Christ.
God bless you.
I'm a political refugee from Russia. The best satirical writer in America, I'm talking political, conservative writer. If you will throw my jokes in the window of the White House, glass will crack. Read Abhama Sutra.
No problem. Take your time. Yes, ma'am. Can I help you?
May I please get 2 of the medium-sized ones?
2 of these?
Yeah.
I don't know. You of age?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. There you go. Be $1,000. $2,000. 1 second. Here's 500. Oh, you another 500. They can't stop us from thinking big.
To be done to continue that dream.
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it?
You know, it's unfortunate that we're having this event because it lets us know that the rise of racism continues. We want to strive to end racism, but as long as we're in this country, consistently we always are reminded of racism. So when you see a picture like this is a continuation of racism. It continues to break the chains of racism because when you have a people who are historically sound, who are historically rooted, then you cannot be oppressed. No matter what kind of way you want to twist the history, when the people know who they are, we won't stand for it. We didn't stand for it then, we're not standing for it today.
What kind of racism is in today's society?
It's the same racism that was in the society 200 years ago. Racism is a system, it's a structure. It is the same system and the same structure that went on today. If a wolf put on sheep's clothing, that doesn't mean that it is no longer a wolf, it is still the wolf in sheep's clothing. So if you disguise racism today in another way through a Beck, it's the same form of racism. You see? So we want to be able to fight against those views so that we can live the dream that Dr. King put forward to us as a nation, as a people.
Hey, thanks for being here today, guys. Yeah, they came out here in a really nice way, didn't they?
Well, how so?
Everybody came here because we thought it was like a great idea.
I heard one lady said, "Oh my God, is that a guy with an Obama T-shirt? He's in the wrong place." Some would say that he's in the wrong place.
Wait a second. I want to
There's
understand.
nobody that showed up, but there's hundreds of thousands that showed up for bringing God back to the way we live. Family values.
You read
by
into what
qualifying.
No, she said that. You didn't read it. She said
I'm just.
All right, so you think it's fine for us to have a rally on Martin Luther King's anniversary?
I didn't say that either.
Huh?
I'm not saying anything.
No, I'm asking.
Okay, so it's a question now.
Yes, I'm saying, do you think it's fine?
I mean, it's certainly a free country, and it's.
That's not what I asked. I said, do you think it's fine?
Do whatever you want, man.
No, but I said, do you think it's okay? Is it all right for us to do that?
It's in poor taste. It's in poor
Okay,
taste,
so then, but for
you
somebody else to say this is this rally, and if you're wearing an Obama T-shirt, you're in the wrong place. That is in poor taste.
No, see, the difference is that I'm saying it's in poor taste, but you can do it. Where they're saying you shouldn't be here. This is the wrong place.
No, she said he's in the wrong place. She didn't say call the cops. I mean.
What's your name?
Abe Lincoln.
Okay, is that what you're going by today?
Today, yeah.
You're sticking to it.
I have to be careful, you know. I grew a little bit. I'm 4 inches taller and twice as honest. Good to see you.
Michelle, I'm ready. Tell Michelle I'm ready. Ready. Thank you.
And you're in a lot of pictures. Do you think some people actually don't really understand what you stand for?
Yes, very much so. This statement is on my sign is from the second inaugural address. It's on stone inside the Lincoln Memorial on the south side. Abraham Lincoln would, I think, be horrified by the phenomenon of Glenn Beck and of Sarah Palin and this teabag movement. I think Abe Lincoln himself, as a student of history, he would be horrified indeed. I don't have a television set, so I've never seen this Glenn Beck fellow. I have seen Sarah Palin on TV. They seem to be very, they're demagogues. And I think it's kind of scary to read some of the comments that I see on the internet, that people seem to be abandoning reason altogether. It looks to me like early stages of fascism throughout history.
This is Nobody Turned Me Around, and I'm Charles Eichner, the author.
What's the book about?
The book is A People's History of the 1963 March on Washington. I interviewed about 120 people and dove into the archives all over the country, got original recordings, video and audio to piece together this story as a narrative of a remarkable day in American history.
What does the other march make you think about?
Well, you know, it makes me think about two things. First of all, the great thing about this country is that everyone has a chance to gather in mass or as individuals to express their points of view. And so I'm actually thrilled that Glenn Beck is doing this. I'm thrilled that Al Sharpton is having his march from Dunbar High School. I guess the thing that distresses me is on the Glenn Beck side, there seems to be a lot of name calling, there seems to be a lot of demonizing, and I think that the true spirit of Martin Luther King is building everybody up and constantly looking for ways to bring more people into the process and make the process deeper and more meaningful, more full of love, more full of hope and building for the future rather than being angry about what's going on right now.
There is more press around today than usual because there are competing, competitive, sometimes angry discussions about the legacy of this man.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children be able to sing with new meaning, my country tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring, and if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring.